Okay, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Alright, who here likes to win? Okay, the most competitive people that I know are fighting game players. These people come from a wide variety of around the world, and they motivate themselves with their drive to win. I brought today an arcade stick. It's for PS3. These are taken to tournaments. We used to play. This one's designed for PlayStation 3 with the theme of Street Fighter, and it's actually my friend's, and he made it red, white, and blue for America. And there are buttons on the top which are to start and select. And these are the standard default layout is a light punch, medium punch, hard punch, light kick, medium kick, heavy kick, and this is to move. And these two buttons are usually turned off, which are to, usually if you hit these, they usually tend to mess you up, so they turn these buttons off. The culture that this arcade stick represents is a community from around the world, from people that like to play fighting games, and drive themselves with the education that they have and the motivation of learning and adapting and becoming social and going to tournaments. I connect with this because there's just the whole thing of fighting games and being yourself, being your own team. I hope to better educate you guys, and so that you understand the fighting game community, and that you guys don't all think we're just nerds trying to play video games. The culture with Street Fighter specifically started in Japan by a company called Capcom, where they developed and made Street Fighter, and it is a huge series today. It grew, the fighting game community grew underground. It was kind of underground scene, and it started with small tournaments in arcades, or just at a laundry shop, or anywhere really that had Street Fighter. The biggest tournament today is now EVO. Last year they broke some records by having over 1 million people watch online, and they usually have a couple tens of thousands, and it's taking place in Las Vegas. It's every summer, and people from all over the world go. There were people from over 70 countries that went last year, and there's over 700 players that go to play. The community is built on respect because it came out of Japan, and they're very traditional. Some of the things that they do is right before a match, they shake hands and make sure that you guys respect each other before and after the match. They shake hands before and after. Even in their playstyles, when attacking and defending, they can show respect by either attacking or defending or backing off of their opponent, or we even call it, you're giving them the dirty stuff, because there's some things that you just can't block, you can't do anything about. And they're shown throughout the match. The tradition goes on with Japan because there are 5 people that are respected above all others in Street Fighter, and their names are Daigo Mohara, Nuki, Haitani, Tokido, and Sakonoko. Those 5 people are considered actually the guardians of Japan, the gods of Street Fighter. They each play a different character, and they've mastered it over the years to where they are considered the best in the world at what they do. I identify with Street Fighter because I've been playing for a little over a year only, but the training that goes in, just because I've been playing for a year, it might not seem like too long, but I've had to put at least hundreds of hours into playing and just training by myself, just with music on, practicing combos, or just playing Street Fighter online and trying to see how I do against other people around the world. I used to play basketball, and basketball is a really team sport. Everybody has to work together and communicate, but when someone doesn't try as hard as everybody else, it tends to throw the whole team off. When that's a big distraction for everybody, and that when one person causes the whole team to lose, it's a big disappointment. Well, in Street Fighter, it's you by yourself against the opponent, and the only person to blame when you lose is yourself, and you can go back and educate yourself. You don't have to remotivate the whole team, it's just yourself against someone else. And there's one best in the world, and that's what I find so interesting about fighting games. The other thing that also brought me to fighting games is the hype that it brings. If you don't know anything about fighting games and you go to a tournament, it's going to be exciting. There's going to be a lot of yelling. There's going to probably be a lot of side betting underground that's not supposed to be going on, but still does to this day. And there was even a point where one tournament, somebody actually got so mad that they had one of these, and they lost in the most ridiculous way, and they got up and they threw it on the ground as hard as they could, and they completely destroyed it. And they even left an indent in the arcade to where that happened today. Another thing is the respect. there's not really hating too much, unlike football teams or basketball teams. Just because someone likes another team, they tend to hate on that person. But in here, it's all about learning, and after a match, they cheer for each other, even the losers. I hope that I helped you better understand the community of fighting games and Street Fighter specifically, and that through my experience that I shared with you, that you can see how we're not all just nerds, and that we're a big community, and we're all united, and we come together to learn and adapt together.